wrong for moving after winning full custody of my sons? As a divorce attorney, I'm not keen on alienating children from either parent unless there is some type of danger to those children, but let's see what happens in this scenario. Let's jump into the facts. My wife and I got a divorce last year. Our relationship failed after she was charged with felony credit card fraud and ended up pleading guilty to a lesser charge. This is starting off bad, but I'm not necessarily seeing a danger to the children. Let's keep going. She had been a stay-at-home mom to our two sons, 5 and 3, and had taken credit cards out in my mom's name to pay for God knows what else. She did credit card fraud against your mom? That's a little bit outrageous, maybe a little dangerous, but still not dangerous to the children. Let's keep going. She shattered my trust. I work full-time and make a decent living, but nothing extravagant. I had no clue what my wife was doing until cops showed up at my door with a warrant and took my wife away in cuffs and took 2 laptops as evidence. When I got the full story, I filed for a divorce immediately. That is a smart move. Why is she committing crimes against your family? Doing crimes against random people is bad enough, but then doing it against your mom? Oh, that's messed up. Aside from being a criminal, geez, he's going in on this lady. She was a good mom. She tried to justify what she did by saying she was just doing what was best for our kids, stealing from their grandma, if that's what's best for them, which I felt was total BS, given that she never mentioned wanting for anything, and anytime she asked to spend on something, I almost always said yes. So it sounds like she's a stay-at-home mother. She doesn't feel like she has enough money, so she's taking it upon herself to steal from his mom of all people. Which, being a stay-at-home mom, people do end up in that situation where they feel like they don't have any money coming in, but not a lot of stay-at-home moms resort to a life of crime and stealing from their mother-in-law. She must really not like her mother-in-law. I shouldn't be laughing. This is a serious scenario. I hired a good lawyer and asked for full custody of my kids. My ex begged me not to do that, saying that she needed her kids, but you're in jail. Isn't she in jail? It says she pleaded to a lesser charge, but it doesn't let us know whether she actually went to jail. So let's see if they tell us that information. But she was still looking at up to a year in jail, and nothing her lawyer said could sway the judge to grant her anything more than supervised visitation. She ended up doing 90 days in jail, paying some fines and restitution, but I've allowed her to see our sons almost every time she asked. The last year has been total hell, but we've made it work. A few months ago, I was offered a much more lucrative position a few states away. I talked with my lawyer about what it would mean if I moved and what that process was. He said that since I have full custody, I have to file a petition with the court to move. So I told my wife what I wanted to do, and she exploded. Any mother would explode over that. She claimed I was stealing her kids, and she made a lot of strides to get herself to a better place, and that she would fight me tooth and nail for our kids. But if he has sole custody, he probably is going to be allowed to move to give the kids a better life. I feel bad for the mom, but not really, because you was stealing, girl. Well, I filed the petition, got the go-ahead from the courts, and accepted the job. When the judge gave his ruling, my wife burst into tears and began sobbing. It was heartbreaking. Well, at least he kind of feels bad for her. I know in my head that I'm doing the right thing for my sons. They are young enough that a move like this won't be too traumatic, but I also feel like their lives have already been completely overturned, and I'm just adding more to that. As for my wife, she's a wreck. She's been begging me to reconsider the move, trying everything from guilt trips, manipulation, bargaining. It's like she's going through the stages of grief. Wouldn't you be if she was trying to leave with your children? Take it from her perspective. From my point of view, she did this to herself. She lied and broke the law. I have very little sympathy for her, I can tell. I know at some point she will probably try to file for partial custody, and I'm prepared for that. For now, I'm just trying to do what's best for me and my sons. Does this make me an a-hole? That was the initial part of his story, but he edited it to add some more information. Thank you for everyone who commented, even the ones who called me a heartless a-hole for taking my sons away from their mother. This post has given me a lot of perspective, and I appreciate that. A couple of things I want to clear up that I keep getting asked about that I wasn't able to include in my original post. 1, the area my sons and I live in is a smaller community. Not everyone knows everyone small, but close. The crime my ex committed was news here. Geez, she was on the news. That's kind of embarrassing. It was in the paper. People know about it. I get weird looks when I'm out in public. People have stopped inviting my sons to birthday parties because they think they're little thieves too. I don't want my sons to be bullied and teased in school about their mother being a criminal. She only got 90 days in jail. She didn't do a hard crime. She probably did something bad to her mother-in-law that she might not have liked. It's still not okay, but we can kind of understand, right? No, we can't. 2, I am not going to permanently alienate my sons from their mother. I will make sure that they are able to talk and FaceTime with her whenever they want. I will be the one who makes the drive back in order for them to see her until she is able to make arrangements to allow her to do so. That is typical. If you're the one moving away, then you are likely going to be the one responsible for the travel. So that definitely makes sense for the court order. I will continue to work with my ex to make sure she is included in things like birthdays and holidays. Okay, he's trying a little bit, although he doesn't have sympathy for her, he is trying. 3, I know my sons and I will all need therapy from this. There is not good mental health help available where my previous job is. My new job offers on-site childcare, and I will have access to counseling and therapy for myself and my sons that we would not have access to without moving. The schools near my new job are head and shoulders above the ones near my previous job. So he's getting out of a small town. I see where he's coming from. 4, if my ex gets her life back on track and is able to move closer to us, I'm all for it. If she does the things she needs to do in order to petition for shared custody, I don't intend on fighting her for that. But until she does that, I will not allow her anything more than the supervised visits ruled by the court. I will also not ask for any of the court-ordered child support. We won't need it. Okay, at least he's not asking her for money. To all the people who screamed, but she's their mother. Yes, she will always be. And I remind my sons daily that their mom loves them very much and that she wishes that she can be with them like before. I am angry and resentful of my wife, but I work very hard to not let any of those feelings impact my sons and their relationship with their mom. At least he is doing that much. If you haven't already, make sure you guys are commenting down below what you think, and we'll talk about whether that is morally or legally wrong in the situation. But before we get into that, let's jump into some of the comments to see what the Reddit community thinks of this situation. Someone commented, I love all the people in here bending over backwards to excuse and downplay the crimes of the ex because she's a mom. What a load of crap. And to OP and the rest of the people in here calling her a good mother, good mothers don't destroy their families by willingly committing federal effing crimes. And for what? Some makeup and designer clothing? Good mother, my A-word. Oh my gosh. This person is not having it with her being a mother. I definitely agree. Maybe she was bored at home, but that definitely doesn't give her the right to start committing crimes. Someone says, not the a-hole. Got to do what's best for the kids. I don't know you, them, or your ex, so really all I can do is assume if the court allowed the father to move out of the state for a job when the mother fought it as opposed to it being no contest, then it qualifies as the best interest of the children. They are absolutely right in that. So let's jump into the analysis. I am a California attorney, so I will be talking about this in the context of California law. Remember, this is not legal advice. If you find yourself in a similar situation, make sure you are consulting with an attorney in your area. Now let's jump right into the analysis. I have to say, morally, I'm on the edge. It does seem wrong to move children away from their mother, but at the same time, he has a way better opportunity in a different state and he does have sole custody. So morally, while I'm not happy that the children have to move away from their mother, the mother did some things to get herself in trouble to where she's not able to move with her family in order to offer them a better life. I choose the children having a better life over them staying in a town where they're not able to really progress and where they are potentially going to be bullied because of what the mother did. Now, legally, dad is absolutely in the right to move. He has sole custody. He did the right thing and went to the court and asked for permission to move, which the court granted. So we have to assume, like the commenter said, the court probably finds this to be the best interest of the children. And I definitely agree. The dad is going to be making more money. He has access to better childcare and he has access to mental health help. And some people might say, oh, well, the mother can just babysit the children. No, she cannot. She is on supervised visitation because she did a criminal act. Now, do I agree that she should be on supervised visitation? No, because I don't think that she did something violent enough to be considered a danger to the children. But at this point, she is on supervised visitation and that is what it is. Since the dad has sole custody and the mom is on supervised visitation, it definitely explains why the judge granted the move away, because the mother is not going to be as involved and as helpful to the father in the situation that she's in right now, and it's better for them to move where they are. OP, while not sympathetic to the mother, is also open to working with her when she finally gets her stuff together. So overall, he's not a bad guy, he's just doing what's best for his children for the time being. It sucks that the mother is going to have to follow them, but a mother is going to do what a mother has to do in order to be close to her children. So in the end, OP is not wrong in the situation. I feel bad for the mom, but we have to do what's best for the kids. Anyways, if you haven't already, do comment below and let me know what you thought about this case and if you would have decided something differently. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out the next video. Bye.